counting down the minutes to the first pitch of today's game.
Yes!
Who's in the starting lineup?
Come on, son, you got to get out there and take the mound. It's game time.
What does the skipper have to say?
It's an attitude, you got to be willing to defend. You got to be willing to base run, or you can't play here.
It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with Tommy Wortz on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome into the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Mets ahead of game number 2. It'll be Tobias Myers going up against Reed Garrett of the New York Mets. Last time Milwaukee saw Tobias Myers start a contest. Got to go back a few months. Hasn't pitched in a game since July 25th. That was a relief appearance May 10th last time. First pitch scheduled for 6:10 from American Family Field. Game number 116 on the season. How's the lineup look today?
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
First, we'll take a look at the visiting New York Mets. Leading things off, the shortstop Francisco Lindor. In right field, Juan Soto will bat second. Starling Marte is the DH, batting third. Pete Alonso at first base will bat fourth today. Brandon Nimmo in left field will bat fifth. Mark Vientos, the third baseman, will bat sixth. Jeff McNeil bats seventh, plays second base. Francisco Alvarez will bat eighth and catch. Cedric Mullins is the center fielder, batting ninth for New York. Now for the Milwaukee Brewers, Sal Frelick will lead things off. He's in right field. Isaac Collins will bat second. He is in left field. William Contreras is catching and batting third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth. Andrew Vaughn, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Blake Perkins, the center fielder, hero from yesterday's game, will bat sixth. Bryce Terang will bat seventh, play second base. Anthony Siegler at third base will bat eighth. Rounding things out for the Milwaukee Brewers, it's Joey Ortiz. He's the shortstop, batting ninth. Well, yesterday, the Milwaukee Brewers may be the most exciting play of the season, and a great game between the New York Mets. The Brewers have now won 7 straight games. They are 71-44, looking to get to 28 games above 500 for the first time since 2001, when they finished 95-67. The Brewers have played in front of sellout crowds now in 6 of their last 7 games, and last night's crowd, 43,469. It was the largest attended game at American Family Field. And how did it all go down? Let's do it right here.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Brandon Woodruff going up against Kodai Senga, as Woodruff would start things off on a rocky start after getting Francisco Lindor to strike out looking. Juan Soto would hit a home run to give the New York Mets a 1-0 lead. After 2 innings, another home run from Starling Marte would make it 2-0 in favor of the New York Mets. Then Woodruff would settle down, but Senga was having his own pitching gem to start the game. It would take all the way up until the 5th inning, when Blake Perkins would leg it out to first on an error from Kodai Senga, and Bryce Terang decided he was going to tie up the ball game with another jack this season.
Terang now, first ball, swinging, fly ball, deep right center, see you later, we're tied.
Highlights courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. Later on in the inning, Joey Ortiz draws a walk, and then William Contreras a walk as well. Kodai Senga. Sal Frelick reached first base on catcher's interference as well in there. The bases were loaded. Isaac Collins gets hit by a pitch. It would make the score 3-2. Not a lot of action on the offensive side after this. The Milwaukee Brewers finished this game with just 4 hits. The Mets just had 5 in the contest. In the 9th inning, things got a little dicey. That's when Pete Alonso would ground out. Brendan Nimmo would fly out. Down to their last strike, Starling Marte doubles. Now the tying run is in scoring position. A single up the middle from Jeff McNeil. Blake Perkins calls game.
And McNeil into center field, a base hit. Perkins throw to the plate on a hop. The tag! He is out! Ball game over! Blake Perkins loads up the rifle.
Oh, chills. Brian Anderson on that one. Let's hear it one more time in case.
And McNeil into center field, a base hit. Perkins throw to the plate on a hop. The tag! He is out! Ball game over! Blake Perkins loads up the rifle.
Oh, man, what a fantastic call there from Brian Anderson. The Brewers win on a play at the plate. Blake Perkins ends the game, throwing out Starling Marte from center field. He ended the game, if you remember, last year, throwing out Stuart Fairchild from center field in the 9th inning. That instance was the first time a Brewers outfielder has thrown out a runner at the plate to end a game without a relay since 1997, when Jeremy Burnitz threw out Scott Brocious from right field in the 9th inning. That was a 1-0 game as well. Blake Perkins, the hero from yesterday, but a lot of good going on. The Brewers now, since losing 20 of the first 22 games where the opponent scored first in a contest, the Brewers are now 19-10 in those last 29 games in which that same instance has occurred. The Brewers batted around in the 5th inning. That was the first time they've done that since the 3rd of the month in Washington. 22nd time this inning they have done that, and the Brewers only recorded 1 hit in that inning. 1 hit, and they batted around. I don't even know how that's possible for Milwaukee. Winning streak up to 7 games, as I mentioned. The win goes to Brandon Woodruff. The loss to Kodai Senga. Trevor McGill picks up his 27th save on the season.
Who is the MVP of the last game for the Crew? Who stood out the most? Let's find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
Guys, Brandon Woodruff, I don't think anyone could have predicted Brandon Woodruff to be this dialed in since coming back to the Milwaukee Brewers. He goes 7 innings yesterday on the season. While yesterday he had only 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. On the year now, Brandon Woodruff, his numbers look like this. He has pitched in 6 games now. The Brewers are undefeated in those 6 games. He has 5 quality starts. He's 4-0, 35 1/3 innings of work. He's walked just 6 batters, has 45 strikeouts in that time. That is good for an 11.5 K per 9. Woodruff has been locked in. His longest outing since his complete game back in 2023. Brandon Woodruff, your MVP of yesterday's contest. He spoke to the media after the game. Here is Woody after the 3-2 victory.
Get through 7 for the first time and do so efficiently. Just what does that mean for you in your progress and how you're taking it start by start?
You know, like I really don't, honestly. I don't. I'm just trying to give the team a chance to win. And you know what? I've been in the zone a lot here the first few starts. So typically when that happens, teams start trying to jump on you, and so they did a little bit early on there, and you know, I just had to switch up the game plan a little bit. But I'm not really, honestly, it's kind of a little cliche. It's just I try to go pitch to pitch and kind of see where I'm at and try to be smart about I'm going about each inning, and yeah, it's just so happened to work out to where I'm pitching deep into games, and yeah, it's been fun.
Woody, you've only given up 9 runs so far, 7 of them or 7 homers though. What do you make of that kind of weird?
Oh, it's not weird. I mean, when you make a mistake, these hitters hit it out of the ballpark. Think for me, luckily, they've been solos, which I've always been the type of person. I'm not concerned with the home run ball. Typically, that means you're throwing a lot of strikes. You can look at it that way. So for me, it's just I'm attacking. I'm always on the attack. So sometimes I make a pitch in the middle of the plate, and these guys get you, and you chalk it up to that. And I just really the Soto ball wasn't a terrible pitch, but it was completely across the plate from where I was trying to go. And then Marte is he's a guy that likes to work the ball to right center. And I tried to come in, didn't get quite in. He got the barrel out front. I mean, when it's 90 as opposed to 96, that it's a little different. So, but no, I'm trying to attack, and sometimes that happens. You try to limit the damage when runners are on base, and that's how you get through innings, and that's how you pitch.
What is it like for you to watch Blake and William kind of make that play?
Oh my God, it was unbelievable. I was running up and down the hall after they made it. I mean, it was incredible. Just obviously what happened to us last year when they came in here and beat us in the playoffs, and how this kind of first game kind of played out was, I mean, it's like kind of meant to be, kind of like an ending to happen like that. So, man, Perk he's worked his butt off to get to where he's at, and he's coming up big, and he's making some awesome plays along with everybody else, and William being able to pick the ball there and lay the tag down, and he, quite frankly, he called it an unbelievable game tonight, and we had conversations in between innings, just didn't quite have my stuff early on, but made some good adjustments, and you got to give a lot of credit to William.
They kind of sum up this team right now on this historic stretch. Everybody chipping in, finding different ways to win, getting it done, good vibes.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously when you win, it's a lot of fun, but I don't think we're coming in every day being like, man, this is like the best. I don't know. I don't look at this stuff, but like the numbers and whatnot, but we just come in here and want to win. So, and yeah, we're playing good baseball, and we're doing all the little things right. I think that's starting to show back up in the game now. There was a stretch where the homer ball was big in the game, and we've kind of flipped the script, how we just get guys on, and we can also hit homers, and we're just throwing the ball well and just putting it together. So, yeah, it's fun to come to the yard every day, and your team's got a great chance to win a ball game.
That baby is a grand slam home run.
What was the big hit of the last game for the Crew? Who hit it? It's time for the drive of the game. It's the leadoff show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
And McNeil into center field, a base hit. Perkins throw to the plate on a hop. Tag! He is out! Ball game over! Blake Perkins loads up the rifle.
There is Brandon Woodruff after the game yesterday. 7 innings, 8 strikeouts, just 2 earned runs from Brandon Woodruff. His 5th quality start in 6 starts now for the Milwaukee Brewers. But Blake Perkins, obviously the play of the day yesterday. He spoke to the media as well. Here's a little bit from Blake Perkins yesterday after the game.
Kirk, you've done that before, but this season, all you've been through to get back here, can you describe what it feels like to just execute there and end the game like that?
I don't know if you guys saw me after, but I was screaming pretty loud, so I don't usually do that, but yeah, I was fired up, man. I mean, what an exciting game, super competitive. Obviously, we have some history with these guys, and it feels incredible to come through right there and just, obviously William had to make the play, McGill pitched well, yeah, it was cool. It does kind of like deja vu from last year too.
Have you ever been that pumped up over any? Have you ever gotten that excited?
Maybe like a walk-off. I hit a walk-off homer one time when I was like 18, 19. That felt pretty good, but it's been a long time since I let out that kind of scream. So.
Just because you don't get that many opportunities to do that, is that more satisfying than even robbing a homer like you've done so many times?
I really don't know. I mean, I think just because of like the moment, like it felt like such a like a serious moment against them. It's a great team we're playing, and they played really well tonight. So I think it did feel pretty sweet. Like this one felt pretty sweet tonight.
Do you think that play kind of encapsulates everything that's going right for this ball club right now in the middle of an historic run? Good vibes, things of that nature.
I think it's just Brewers baseball. We all are feel like hard-nosed guys. Do whatever we can to scratch some runs across. If we're not, we're facing a guy who's pitching well. Does it encapsulate? I mean, I guess you could say that if you wanted to. But we're just here. We want to win one day at a time, and it's cool to be involved in all these statistics and stuff. But I know the guys in here, we just care about playing hard for each other. So
there is Blake Perkins after the game yesterday. Blake Perkins throwing out Starling Marte to end the contest yesterday. He also was one of 4 hits in the game for the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers had 4 hits in the contest and went 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position and still found a way to win that ball game yesterday. That should show you the pitching performance out of Brandon Woodruff and Abner Uribe and Trevor McGill to close things out. Fantastic day for the Milwaukee Brewers to just find a way to win like they do each and every day. Pat Murphy after the game. We'll hear a little bit from him. Here is the manager, Pat Murphy, after the Brewers' 3-2 victory.
You see how Contreras waited at the plate, kind of almost deking him like there's not going to be a play?
Yeah.
And the kid dove in. He had a little bit of a wide turn instead of cutting that turn.
Yeah.
And then he just assumed he was going to be safe, no play. And then he just waited, and caught it and tagged at the same time.
Yeah. But he also did it fast, though, too.
How'd you like it?
Good.
Huh? Were you rooting for the Mets or the Brewers?
Brewers.
All right, guys.
Murph, can you ask anything more out of Brandon Woodruff at this point?
Woody was, resilient. He 7 innings. He was pitching, pitching. And you can just see the confidence and the leadership just oozing out of him, the way he handled things. William did a great job with him, too. But that lineup's incredible. I mean, Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Nemo, Marte, McNeil. I mean, you're talking about, there's 6 guys right there, all been all-stars. It's one of the best lineups in baseball. And for Woody to get through, I know it was a good day to hit today in our ballpark, especially early. And the Soto ball, well, I don't know what the launch angle was, but I'll bet it's the highest launch angle home run of the year. I'll make that bet right now if anybody wants it.
42.
Is it?
It was 42. I don't know if it was the highest ball.
It was 42?
Yeah. 42.
Highest of the year, home run? I'm going to say yes. I mean, no credit taken away from him. This shows you how strong that man is. Yeah, and Marte, he has a way of coming in here and playing great. I mean, the guy was great. So, yeah, both pitchers did really well, and a typical game that we took advantage of walks and swinging bunts and things like that, and big swing by Bryce. He had a great game all around. But the Perkins play and the way Woody shoved for 7, I mean, that was spectacular.
Or does it feel like Bryce is starting to get to a point where some of that power is coming out in games a little more?
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing it a lot more. He's understanding it. This kid's a baseball rat. He just loves the game and loves to keep working on his swing and loves to play. And he's multifaceted, which is he's coming into his own.
Murph, can you take us through from your perspective everything that needs to go right on that last play? What are you seeing on that last play? Little things.
Yeah, I mean, you if you're in a tie game, we're still the whole team. You know what I mean? So in that defensive positioning, you're not taking away a hit. You're actually probably playing a little bit deeper. And with a guy throwing 99, 101, you can't afford to get caught and get beat over your head because that puts the guy in scoring position. But you also don't want to give them a run. Balls hit like that, we're not going to catch it, but you got to close on the ball and take a shot if you feel like there is a shot. You know what I mean? And if you watch, I just watched it again in slow motion. You know, Perk does a great job of getting into it, catching it clean, great transfer, and that's what people don't understand. Sometimes you take an extra step to transfer it. Great transfer, and you know, accurate throw. And William did an unbelievable job of just standing there like there's going to be no play, and that comforts the runner a little bit. Now, did it slow him down? I don't know. Arte's a great base runner, great player, but the turn, if you see it, you know, it could have been cut a little closer. I didn't think he thought for 1 second that there's going to be any play at the plate. But William did a great job. It was a great one-hop throw. Great job of turning with the tag and tagging at the same time. And it was bang, bang.
There is the manager, Pat Murphy, speaking to the media after the 3-2 victory. That audio courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. Blake Perkins, courtesy of Kurt Hogue, and Brandon Woodruff, Mr. Drew Wagner, who will join the show in about 20 minutes or so here, 5:40. We'll talk to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports. We're going to talk to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook coming up on the other side. Get you some of the best bets if you want to get any action on tonight's game. Game number 2, Milwaukee Brewers going up against the New York Mets. It is Tobias Myers going up against Reed Garrett, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
At the wall, looking up, see you later.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, the Milwaukee Brewers lineup again for you guys one more time. Sal Frelick in right field will lead things off. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich at DH will bat fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Blake Perkins in center field will bat sixth. Bryce Terang at second base will bat seventh. Anthony Siegler at third base bats eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop, batting ninth for the Crew. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, he is the sportsbook manager over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. It is Austin Herdina joining us now. Austin, how are you doing today, my friend?
Man, every day the Brewers win the night before, I'm always good.
I mean, what an ending yesterday. I mean, Perkins, the Woody gets 7 innings. I mean, just an all-around awesome game to watch.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that ending. I was at home sitting with my daughter when that happened, and my daughter's 6 years old, and she got off the couch and she's like, "Brewers win, Brewers win!" It was awesome. It's something that the city of Milwaukee is really excited and rallying around this team. I saw it's like our 4th sold out game in a row.
Yeah. Largest crowd of the year last year, Austin. How'd the shuttle services work?
Phenomenal.
Okay.
We started it yesterday. Yeah, things are going very, very well. It's 3 shuttles that we have that run, back and forth, starting 1 hour before the game and as late as 1 hour after the game. And it's going very well. So
perfect.
You come place a bet, or you go to the restaurant or the bar or whatever it is in the sportsbook area, and you just ask for a shuttle bracelet, and they'll give you the wristband. And that's how you get on the shuttle.
Well, maybe you tail this parlay we're about to cook up here for Brewers-Mets game number 2 to make that your valid pass for the Potawatomi Sportsbook shuttle to all Brewers home games. Brewers are now favored again, minus 121 on the money line today. Run line at 1.5 will get you plus money at plus 160. And the over-under a little higher today is at 9. Austin, what are you looking at over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook to build up a nice little parlay for the people today?
So listen, this Mets team's really struggling. This Brewers team's really hot. I have to keep going with the gift that keeps on giving, and that's Milwaukee Brewers to win. So I'm actually going to go Brewers minus 1.5 today. I want the better value. I feel like the team's going to be coming into tonight's game pretty excited after winning last night. Almost blew the save, right?
Yeah.
You almost do it. And now I feel like you're riding on house money. Give me the Brewers minus 1.5. That's my main bet. If you want to throw it into, first of all, the price on that, the Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 160. And then if you want to throw that into a same-game parlay, give me William Contreras to get a hit. He's in the 3 spot today. I think he's going to come through. And then Isaac Collins, he's been playing really well lately. He's in the 2 spot tonight. I have him to score a run. So Isaac Collins to get a run, Contreras to get a hit. I mean, that could happen at one swing of the bat right there, knock both those out. And then Brewers minus 1.5. You put those together, you're looking at plus 360.
Plus 360 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That is Brewers run line of minus 1.5. William Contreras to record a hit, and Isaac Collins to record a run scored today. Plus 360 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin Herdina joining us here from the Potawatomi Sportsbook. What else is coming up people should know about happening at Potawatomi, Austin, whether it's this weekend, the weekends in the future here, or other great stuff happening over at Potawatomi that the people need to know?
Well, NFL preseason started up. So tonight we got the Packers.
Yeah.
So if you're someone that's more of a football fan, come on in and watch the Packer preseason game tonight. We also have UFC Fight Night is going on right now. Next Saturday is UFC 319, the pay-per-view. You can get your reservations if you'd like. You can go to Potawatomi.com, go to Sportsbook, click on that red reservation tab, and you'll see your seating options for that. I also want to let people know that we are going to be opening up seating reservations for football season pretty soon. I'd say look for it by the end of next week. We should have it up for at least the first month or so of September. The first few weeks of September. But yeah, it's just a fun time to be at Potawatomi Sportsbook right now with the Brewers, the way that they've been playing. The room in here gets a lot of energy. Every time the Brewers score, it's just really exciting. I wasn't here last night when the game ended, but I heard from our team that it was pretty rowdy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Looking at some odds just for NFL preseason, in case you guys are interested, -186 on the Packers money line. At the spread of -3 in favor of Green Bay, you'll get -120 as well. The over-under set at 37 in the game, too. You can even bet on NFL preseason. Packers back, too. Everyone excited for that. And the Brewers, best record in baseball, up by 5 games over the Chicago Cubs, too. Money line on run line on Milwaukee, -1.5. William Contreras over on a half a hit. Isaac Collins over on a half a run. Pays +360 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, thanks to Austin Herdina. Austin, have a good rest of your day, my friend. And, of course, go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina, joining us on the Fan Gas Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Line drive, base hit, down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. It's the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the leadoff show. It is time for the Coach's Corner. Drew Wagner, nice enough to send us over some audio that is from Mr. Pat Murphy before tonight's game. Talks about Jacob Mizorowski, who, on an update, threw to some live hitters today, progressing through his rehab, says everything kind of went well. Let's hear a little bit from the manager, Pat Murphy, himself on the situation developing in Milwaukee.
I watched him this morning.
Do you know yet where he'll fit? Like, will he come right away?
He fits.
In Cincinnati or in Chicago for the first one?
I don't think he'll be ready for Cincinnati. When's he due to come off? When can he come off?
First day in Cincinnati.
Friday the 15th.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that'll be it. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would, if I were, I would say he won't be there the 15th.
Could he be there maybe the 18th when you have 2 games?
Probably not. I think we're going to want to stretch him a little more. He had 3 ups today. Probably have him do it again. Yeah.
Do you mean another live or a rehab start?
Maybe one or the other. We'll discuss that tonight. Plot thickens.
Murph saw Jack and there was some bats. Where's he at?
He's a baseball player. They usually own bats. You're surprised by that fact?
He is injured. I don't know what his.
So when you're injured, you don't pick up bats?
Depends on how severe the injury might be.
Well, obviously, if you're in the hospital, you usually don't take bats with you. But if you're on a clubhouse and you're dressed out, you pick up your bats.
Okay.
He did some flips today. He did some flips.
So slow, progressing, but
No,
slowly.
he's progressing. It's just not going to be any time to our liking. You know, we want to go through the protocol we need to. It always seems arduous and, longer than we would like, but that's why we don't do what they do, and we let them do what they do, and they've got a pretty good track record of doing it well and having guys ready.
Arduous, that's pretty weird.
I don't know if it's appropriate, but I throw them out every once in a while just to see if they stick. I figure Stern will tell me if it doesn't. The self-professed smartest guy in the room, right?
Jack?
Yeah. I think he said that.
Profess
I don't
yourself
think
as
he
a leader?
self-processed it. I don't think that's
He
right.
didn't?
I've never said that.
I don't think that's self.
I think that was just something that's been passed on.
He comes across
It's
like
like urban legend type thing. I don't know. I heard it once.
Will's pretty smart. Did you say Will?
Pretty smart. That's like saying, guy over there, he's pretty good. That means he stinks. And
Nice man.
Nice
Yeah,
man.
Will's a nice man. Other than that.
Murph, on Henderson with that diagnosis, what kind of timeline does that
Yeah.
entail?
Yeah, again, that's on the short side. It's like upping throwing in a week, throwing, not full blow, but up and throwing. On the long side, it's a couple weeks of rehabilitation and then a throwing program progression. So, what do we got?
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? Ironworkers Local 8 brings you Building a Winner. Building Milwaukee's future, one beam at a time. Apply now at iwl8.org.
That audio of Pat Murphy, courtesy of Andrew Wagner, coming up in about 5 minutes here. It's time for another Building a Winner feature presented by Iron Workers Local 8. Thanks again to Iron Workers Local 8 for being a part of the leadoff show all season long. Let's take a look around the minor leagues. We'll kick things off with AAA.
Nashville Sounds.
Nashville loses yesterday 4-1 over the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Robert Gasser, however, made his sixth start of his current rehab assignment during the 4-1 loss. He recorded 3 scoreless innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 walk, while striking out 4. Gasser threw 42 pitches, his most in a game in his current rehab stint. Remember, recovering from Tommy John surgery on June 24th of last year. He has not pitched in the majors since June 1st of last year. Easton McGee also putting in 3 innings of work with no earned runs and 5 strikeouts. Ethan Murray, 1 for 2. He had a stolen base in the game. Pitching today, it'll be Bruce Zimmerman for the Nashville Sounds.
Biloxi Shuckers.
Biloxi yesterday wins in 7 innings in game number 2. Game number 1, they lose 2-0. In game 1, Tate Cooner went 4 innings in that one, 4 strikeouts. In game number 2, Luis Lara, 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. Alex Cornelli, 5 innings pitched, 1 earned run in the contest. Today, it'll be Casey Hunt going for the Biloxi Shuckers as they look to get a winning streak going after picking up the win in game 2 yesterday.
Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Timber Rattlers, we saw Luis Pena and Jesus Made both record hits during Class A Wisconsin's 7-0 loss yesterday to Peoria. Since their promotions on August 3rd, both players have reached base in each game they have appeared in. Pena is 4 for 14. He's batting .286 with 2 doubles and a homer. Reached base via walk 4 times in that stretch. Made has 5 RBIs and an .845 OPS in the same timeline. Brewers' number 1 and number 2 prospects, both top 30 right now, are on the top 30. Both are top, I believe, 32 or 35 if you go from Luis Pena's bottom. This is really 31 is Luis Pena, by the way. Yesterday, however, the 7-0 loss, they will now have Ryan Pritchard going for game number 5 of the 6-game series for the Timber Rattlers.
Carolina Mudcats.
Mudcats yesterday, Josh Adamczewski had a pair of hits, drove in a run during the Class A Carolina's 3-1 victory over Lynchburg, that is Cleveland's low A affiliate. Since rejoining the Mudcats now, Adamczewski has been on base in 12 of the 14 games, has 6 multi-hit games. He's batting .340 in that time frame, has an OPS over 1,005, 9 extra base hits, 5 doubles, triple 3 homers. It's a 1,068 OPS that leads the Carolina League stretch in that time. Complex League season's been over for a while now, but Dominican Summer League both win yesterday. Blue team now 25-22, while Gold is 23-25. This Building a Winner feature presented by Iron Workers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Couple of promotions as well to mention with Tobias Myers being recalled from Nashville. Brian Fitzpatrick going up from Biloxi to Nashville. Left-handed pitcher will be joining the Nashville Sounds today. We'll see when we see him for the first time in AAA. This Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Coming up, we're going to talk to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports, pick his brain a little bit about Game 1 yesterday of the Mets series, and now getting things all caught up for Game number 2. Tobias Myers going up against Reed Garrett between the Milwaukee Brewers and the New York Mets. Live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com, ages 6 to 17.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Mets ahead of game number 2. The lineup for that game one more time for the Milwaukee Brewers. Sal Frelick will lead things off. He's in right field. Isaac Collins in left field will bat second. William Contreras, the catcher, will bat third. Christian Yelich, the DH, bats fourth today. Andrew Vaughn at first base will bat fifth. Blake Perkins in center field will bat sixth. Bryce Terang at second base bats seventh. Anthony Siegler at third base will bat eighth. Joey Ortiz rounds things out. He is the shortstop, batting ninth. Joining the show now, as he does each and every day, you can follow his work at Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter at @ByAndrewWagner. It is Drew Wagner joining us here on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. Mr. Wagner, how are we today, my friend?
We're doing all right, man. We're doing all right.
Drew, yesterday, I mean, what was that atmosphere like at the end? Because it sounded so loud on TV.
Yeah, it was pretty loud in there. We were talking about that last night after the game with some of the boys. They thought it was the loudest that it was, even louder than last year after Frelick's home run. It was up there, man. It was definitely one of the most explosive moments that I've heard in the stadium.
Yeah, it was incredible, and I hate to interrupt you to talk about it like that, but I mean, Blake Perkins, like the Brewers just tend to do this, right? We saw Blake Perkins do it last season when he gunned down Stuart Fairchild. I was working for the Brewers when Lorenzo Cain robbed it on opening day with 2 outs. Joey Votto gets his homer robbed in front of the home crowd with Carlos Gomez. Like center fielders and defense right now for the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, the vibes are immaculate in the 9th inning, it feels like.
Dude, I'm 47. I still don't know what that phrase means. I've heard it a lot, and I'm going to need someone to explain that to me during the offseason because I don't know what the hell a vibe is.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means it's a good thing or
the atmosphere. The atmosphere is electric. How about that?
Okay, we'll go with that.
All right.
Yeah, the vibes were immaculate.
Drew Wagner joining us here on Talking Like a 25-year-old lingo on the leadoff show. Drew, otherwise, the other big storyline kind of gets robbed in this. Brandon Woodruff, and I heard your question in postgame yesterday, and Pat Murphy really kind of shied away from the question directly and really just talked about the game. But could the Brewers ask for anything more out of Brandon Woodruff through 6 starts now?
Nope. He did exactly what you need your ace to do. We talk about this every time Freddie comes up the pitch, and we talk about him being an ace. And I always say he's the guy that basically gives you the best chance to win and gives your bullpen the day off. And that's exactly what he did. You know, he cruised through that. I think it was 78, 79 pitches through 7 innings.
Yeah.
8 strikeouts, couple of solo home runs, couple of hits, couple of walks. I mean, it was about as dominant as a start you can have.
I mean,
that is what you want.
Right. Is it possible he's gotten better, Drew?
It certainly looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, he's not throwing as hard as he did.
No.
You know, that fastball is still several clicks down from where it was below the injury, but he's locating it. He's using his arsenal better. Like he's pounding guys, and Pat Murphy talked today in pregame that he's throwing that slower fastball in a way where it still looks like it's coming in at you at 96 or higher.
Drew, we played a little bit of the Pat Murphy sound that you sent over, basically getting through a lot of the injury updates with Jackson Churio, Jacob Mizorowski, and Logan Henderson, and then we were kind of short for time. Anything else that was said in pregame today in regards to Woodruff or in regards to Tobias Myers coming back up today that the people should know about from Pat Murphy?
Yeah, Myers isn't going to be – they're not expecting to go very deep. This is essentially going to be a bullpen game today for the Brewers. He only threw, I think, 48 pitches the last time out. He's not fully stretched out into a starter's length right now. So it's going to be a busy day for the Brewers bullpen. They'll take whatever they can get out of Tobias Myers. If they can get him through, the order once, that's a pretty good way to go. But don't expect to see him going out there unless something fluky happens and he's really locked in. I wouldn't expect a very long outing from him today.
Yeah, and then your assumption is probably an Ashby or Hall, first guy out of the pen to try to eat some innings?
Yeah, that could be it. They're fairly rested. They've got Shelby Miller in there too, so it's going to be kind of an all-hands-on-deck gig today. I think the only guy you're really probably going to try and lay off is your Uribe, maybe McGill, because they both work back-to-back games. Other than that, everyone's pretty fresh. Everyone pretty much got the day off yesterday, so they're good to go.
Drew, this stretch now for the Milwaukee Brewers, the fastest to 70 wins. They have the best record in the National League. They're in Major League Baseball, and they're leading the NL Central by now 5 games. Is this stretch since May 25th the best baseball you have seen the Brewers play?
I mean, this is easily the best stretch that I've seen them play, not just this year, but in the last couple of years. They are clicking on all cylinders right now. I mean, everything is going right for them, including the breaks. We hear people kind of downplaying this a lot with Luck, but listen, Luck has a big say in how successful a team is, because you can have all the talent in the world, and then the breaks don't go your way. They're getting all the breaks. I mean, yesterday that ball that McNeil hit was hit in the perfect spot at the perfect velocity in the perfect angle for Perkins to come in there, charge on it, and make that play. You need things like that to go right. The catcher's interference call that leads to the runs. all those little things, when you're playing well, those things tend to go in your favor, and it's not a coincidence.
Drew Wagner joining us here on the leadoff show. Drew, I'm looking at the game notes, and this is now 9 consecutive games without an error for the Brewers, so that means for sure get ready for an error to be caught today for Milwaukee. But you remember in the beginning parts of the season, like that was not the case. This Brewers defense was very uncharacteristic, and they were not figuring it out on the defensive side. What changed, or what did you just drill harder, practice more? Like now they got their guys back. Maybe Blake Perkins really helps out on that side. But how did the Brewers make that shift and change to really get the defense back on track this season?
Yeah, that's kind of the million-dollar question, because that is probably the biggest difference from the beginning of the season. The defense was, it's still okay, but it wasn't great. It wasn't the lockdown defense that we'd become accustomed to seeing the Brewers play. Maybe it's just repetition. Maybe it's just settling in. Maybe it's just feeling more comfortable. It's probably a lot of different things. At the end of the day, these guys are very good defensive baseball players. They were good defensive baseball players at the beginning of the season when things weren't going right. Sometimes it just takes a little time to get settled in early in the year, and I think that's kind of what we were seeing.
Drew, also another question. Anthony Siegler back in the lineup today. Is this like getting towards like last attempts to get him some reps and on these splits? Like, I don't even know if I understand that when a righty's on, you want to try to get Siegler something. You want to get another lefty in the lineup, but does it feel like at this point, like keeping Caleb Durbin off the team doesn't necessarily help the team in those situations?
Yeah, you're wondering how much longer this is going to go. If Siegler doesn't start heating up, you've got to go with your best lineup at this point, and it's not hard to say that they're not playing with their best lineup when Siegler's in there over Durbin.
Drew, last thing for you here too. Looking at some returns to come back here, I'm wondering your predictions. When Churio is coming back, where do you think the move is next? Is it Lockridge that goes down? And with Hoskins coming back later this month, hopefully as well, is it Siegler, do you believe, that might be the odd man out in that situation?
Yeah, I think that's the way those two are looking. At the same time, depending on how long it takes, I mean, it might not be a move somebody out guy. They could just stretch this out if they're not ready to go, because it doesn't sound like Hoskins is going to hit the rehab trail until very late in the month. So he's probably not coming back until September at the earliest. At that point, your rosters expand. So who knows? They could probably bring both guys back in, depending on the timing, without having to make a move. Churio, he's doing baseball activities, been swinging the bat. He's still a ways to go. If he comes back before September, I think you're looking at Lockridge getting sent out. Well, right now, the way that it's tracking, it could be a situation where those guys don't come back until September, and those are your call-ups.
And do you believe that we have – oh, that's right. It'll go up to 28. That makes sense, too. Tobias Myers, do you think he'll make it through to that September time frame as well, too? Or he's going to be up here just until Miz and Henderson are healthy again?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. I think Miz and Henderson, Miz especially, is going to get the first crack at it. It's no knock on Myers. But he's got options, he's got flexibility. Now, if he pitches out of his rear end for the next couple of weeks, who knows? That could change. But I would assume that he's going to be the guy sent out, or one of the guys sent out when Miz comes back.
When it's playoff rosters, is it only 26, or do you get an extra man 27 in the playoffs?
I think it's 26.
Okay. All right. I'll double check that as well, but curious again. I don't know. I don't understand why they wouldn't just keep it at 28 through the playoffs, but I know it's not that. So we'll double check on that and make sure we get the people informed on it. Drew, have a good rest of your day. Thank you so much. Enjoy the game tonight, my friend.
We'll talk tomorrow.
Yes, there he is. Drew Wagner jumping off the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all. Some interesting moves, like I said, for the Brewers. Siegler back in the lineup today. It has not gone well for Anthony Siegler in his time with Milwaukee. It was cool to have the story of switch hitter, switch thrower, whatever that means. But he's not even playing now. He's not even batting right-handed anymore. He's just strictly left-handed at this point. And I think it is hurting the ball club, because I would love to see more Caleb Durbin, and I think he plays a better defensive third base as well. Drew Wagner, it sounds like, tends to agree.
How does the crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Keys to the game, how we always end each and every leadoff show. I'm looking at William Contreras because an amazing play, and, we've heard Pat Murphy give credit on that play yesterday that William Contreras really is maybe the cooler part of that play yesterday at the plate to get Starling Marte deking the runner out, approaching it like there's no play at the plate, and then he's able to lay the tag down. But now we know the defense from Contreras. He had a really good week last week. But his last 7 games now, he's back to 207, slugging just 345. The on-base percentage of 343 isn't terrible, but if you expand his numbers over the last 15 games, they look a lot better. 279 average, 362 on base, 459 slugging. I would like those numbers to start reflecting on William Contreras, and I know he's playing injured. I know he's playing hurt. But William Contreras is in the 3 spot again today. We need to find a way to get William Contreras back hot, ready for this Brewers ball club, because he's been there all season, batting in that top 3, and the production has not been there from Contreras. His season stats, 9 homers, 249 average, 713 OPS. His career OPS is 801. His career batting average is 279. You want to see William Contreras get back on track, whatever that means for today. That's going to do it for us here at The Fan. We'll be back tomorrow as the Milwaukee Brewers will wrap up the 3-game series with the New York Mets. First pitch at 1:10 tomorrow. That means the leadoff show is back at noon. Green Bay Packers going to be in action today. Make sure you guys keep an eye on that as well at the same time. But the Brewers taking on New York for game number 2, Tobias Myers versus Reed Garrett. First pitch, 6:10 today. Live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.